This is Radio EBM.
Welcome to MSACL Connect, and thanks for joining us today for a fireside chat with Dr. David Millington, moderated by members of the JMSACL Podcast Committee. My name is Chris Harold, and I'm going to be co-hosting this session with Ms. Amber Harold. Thank you, Ms. Amber. The moderators for today's session will be Drs. Oleg Karaduda, thank you, and Dustin Bunch. Great to have you all on.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming today. I see a lot of people that I recognize and a lot of people I don't. Today, I want to introduce Dr. David Millington. Dr. David Millington is emeritus professor at Duke. And, you have a long history in this field. Could you just tell us a little bit about your history for people that may not know your background?
Well, it all started for me as a graduate student at Liverpool University back in the days of the Beatles. Between 1962 and 1969, I was in the Department of Chemistry there. Decided to go into organic chemistry because it interested me. I was no good as a bench chemist, but luckily for me, there was a very significant interest in natural products chemistry. And so they needed the technology for that. And in the day, it was mass spectrometry, early days in mass spectrometry, and of course, NMR. And so I got to be exposed to some high-end mass spectrometers like the AIMS9 and others during the 1960s, when it was a very new technology. And, we were in the early phases of application. So I transitioned from organic chemistry into organic mass spectrometry during my PhD years at Liverpool. And then I made it my interest to stay in the field of applied mass spectrometry, always wanting to do something in the medical field. And I didn't get that opportunity really until 1982. In the meantime, I had done various postdoctoral fellowships. I had worked for Micromass, VG, what is now Ortus, was VG Micromass back in the day, based in Manchester, in their organic mass spectrometry division, where I learned what little I know about mass spectrometry there, primarily. I saw techniques being developed, mostly in double focusing mass spectrometers, high-end mass spectrometers, which I found very intriguing and exciting. And I wanted to get back into academia to apply some of these techniques especially if possible, in the medical field. I started off back in academia at UNC in Chapel Hill, in the School of Environmental Sciences and Engineering. And from there, I moved to Duke, courtesy of a meeting I had with a physician who interested me in inborn errors of metabolism and ultimately newborn screening. But it all started really with that interest in Liverpool and then wanting to know more about how mass spectrometers work. And that was why I worked with the company for 5 years, and then coming back into academia and getting unique opportunities that you could only really get, I think, in the United States. To move across fields, to go from one field into another field, and then as a really unusual move for me to go from UNC to Duke, which was only doctors, mainly MDs at that time, very few PhDs at Duke, and I was the first in pediatrics, the first guy that wasn't a medic working as a faculty member. So those days were really exciting for me, and I think that gives you a fair impression of the background that I came from and why I became interested in applying it into, if possible, in the clinical side.
This episode was recorded as a part of MSACL Connect podcasts. Click the link below to watch the full interview with Dr. Millington, the legend of mass spec science. And frankly speaking, the chat was pretty fun. So like, subscribe, and don't miss the next video.